So as I said, we always have to draw the velocity diagram. Okay, so let's draw the velocity diagram first. Now from this question, we will understand that it is a Pelton wheel, right? So as it is a Pelton wheel, we must draw the velocity diagram for the Pelton wheel. How it is? So basically for Pelton wheel, let's say this is what the Pelton bucket we are having. Okay. This is the bucket we are having. And in a Pelton wheel, what happens? Your inlet is simply horizontal line. Okay. And so this is V1 equal to VW1. Both will be same as your theta and alpha is 0. This is your U. And the remaining distance is VR1. Right. This is what the inlet triangle is. About the outlet triangle, it is same as which we have seen in the previous unit. Okay. VR2, V2, VF2, U2, and this is VW2. Okay. This is your phi, and this is your beta. Right. So this is what your velocity triangle is. As I said, whenever you got a numerical in front of you, for that numerical, whatever the velocity diagram is, that you should always draw. Okay. So we don't know whether this diagram will be useful in this numerical or not, because sometimes without even solving this triangle, you can solve the numerical. Okay. But still, you should draw it. Okay. So let's continue with the numerical. So what is the given data? That let's find out. Okay. So given here, what is said? A Pelton wheel is working under a gross head of 400 meter. Okay. How you can denote the gross head? Anyone? How you can denote the gross head?
HG.
HG, right? Capital HG. So capital HG is given to you. Can you tell me what is meant by gross head? Yes. What is meant by gross head? Anyone? Or randomly I'll ask. Because this is very basic things which you must know. Adarsh Kulkarni? Adarsh Kulkarni? If someone didn't respond, I'll mark them as absent. Okay. Even if it is wrong, fine. No issues. But at least you should try. Adarsh?
Vertical distance between
Aditya?
headrest.
Yes?
Vertical distance between headrest and tail race.
Okay. Vertical distance between the headrest and tail rest, that is the gross head. Okay. Next thing is the water is supplied through the penstock of diameter 1 meter and the length of 4 kilometer. So here what is given? The dimensions of the penstock is given to you. Okay. So penstock is having the diameter of 1 meter. Okay. So let's denote it by D star, because D we normally use for the wheel diameter, right? So D star is given as 1 meter, and length of the pipe is also given to you as the 4 kilometer. Okay. It's very large as well as long. Okay. From the reservoir to the Pelton wheel. Further, it is said that the coefficient of the friction for the penstock is given as 0.008. Okay. Coefficient of friction is given. Okay. this is the coefficient of friction inside that penstock. Okay, so what happened here? F is given to you as 0.008. Okay, further, the jet of the water of diameter 150 mm strikes the bucket of wheel. Okay, so here again jet diameter is given to you. Okay, that means which you denote by small d as 150 mm. Okay, it is going to strike on the bucket of the wheel and gets deflected through an angle of 165. Okay, so that means let's say this is your bucket, right? If you extend this further, okay, this angle is given to you, that is AOD, that is 165 degree. Okay, so 165 degree AOD is given. So if AOD is 165, in case of Pelton turbine, what will happen? The phi will be known to you, that is 180 minus 165, that is 50 degree, right? Now further, the relative velocity of the water at outlet is reduced by 15% due to friction between the inside surface of the bucket and the water. Okay, so I think one of the numerical based on this uh, relative velocity, okay, relation between the relative velocities we have took in the first unit, right? So the similar kind of situation has been given over here, that is relative velocity of the water at outlet. Okay, what is the relative velocity at the outlet? Yes, what is relative velocity at outlet?
VR2.
VR2. Okay, so what about VR2? That VR2 is reduced by 15%. Okay, 15% से कम हो गई है. Okay, that means what? VR2 is equal to VR1 minus 15% you are supposed to reduce it. Okay, that means 0.15 of VR1. Okay, or you can simply solve this and you can write it as 0.85 of VR1. Okay, so this is what is given about the relative velocity. Further, it is said that if the velocity of the bucket is 0.45 times of the jet velocity at inlet. Okay, what is meant by this? Read the sentence once again and see what is given. Velocity of bucket is, that means u, it is 0.45 times of the jet velocity at inlet. Jet velocity at inlet is VR1. Okay, so that means basically this value is what? Can anyone tell me what it should be? Yes? This is just I'm asking for the definition part. No, not U1. We have seen few terminologies in last week. KU, very good. Okay, so here that is KU, that means speed ratio. Okay, that is given to you as 0.45. Here directly it is in the sentence form, so you don't have to remember that what is KU and what is the other things or what should be the formula of it. But still, in case if it is said that KU is this much, then you must know what is the formula for KU. Okay. Or sometimes instead of KU they may say speed ratio. So you must know speed ratio and KU both are same. Okay. Then further said that mechanical efficiency as 85%. So mechanical efficiency is given to you as 85%. Okay. Determine power given to the runner. Okay, that means how much power is given to the runner. Okay, what can you tell me what is mean by this? What you are supposed to find? Power given to runner means? Yes, anyone? Power given to runner.
RP.
RP. Okay, power given to runner. You can't say that it is your kinetic energy. Okay, that is power supplied to the bucket. But through the bucket, that power will be given to the whole runner. Okay, so that's why it is said as RP. Sometimes this may be confusing that it is said that given. That means you may say that what is the input to that runner. Okay, but before coming to directly coming to the runner, it is coming to the bucket first. Okay, and then after it is going to the runner. That's why you should this sentence said that power given to runner means what? RP. Okay, that means after bucket, after developing the power on that bucket, it will be transferred to the runner. Okay, so that is what the RP is. Then further said that find shaft power, right? And then hydraulic efficiency as well as the overall efficiency, right? So this is what the given data is. Now, let's see how to solve this. Okay, so first thing is your RP. Okay, so let's see how to solve RP. You can go for SP also. Okay, but if you don't know RP, you can't go for SP because here mechanical efficiency is given. What is mechanical efficiency? Shaft power upon runner power. So you must know the RP, right? Again, if you want to find hydraulic efficiency, you must know the RP. Overall efficiency, you must know everything about over this. Okay, that means you must know the shaft power at least. Okay, so let's start with the RP. Now, what is RP? What is RP? How you can find RP? Yes, anyone? Tell me the formula for RP.
Rho Q VW1 plus VW2 into U.
Yes. Okay, so your formula is rho Q VW1 plus VW2 into U, right? Now, rho is known to you because it is a water, right? Q, don't know anything about the Q. Okay, Q agar find karna hai, how you can find the Q? Area into velocity, right? So here area you can find, right? Because diameter is given, but you don't know velocity again. Okay, what you know? You know the relation between U and V. Okay, so again, if you want to find V1, you must know U, right? But if you want to find U, you must know the diameter. Okay, diameter of the wheel and even the RPM. So RPM is also not given. Diameter of the wheel is also not given. So this can't be the what you can say way to find that velocity. Okay, so again VW1 VW2 you don't know. Okay, to find VW1 VW2 we must know V1 again. So first target is to find V1. Now how you can find V1? For that you have to think. Okay, so let's say how you can find V1? V1 is equal to what? How you can write? CV under root of 2GH. Again, now H is not known to you. Okay, CV is also not given. So let's assume it as CV equal to 1. Okay, even you can take any value also. Okay, commonly it is taken as 0.98. Okay, so you can take that value also. I'm taking it as 1 for the simplicity. Okay, so now here to find V1 you at least know H, but for H now let's see what is given. Okay, how you can find H? Yes, how you can find H? Anyone? How you can find H? What is the formula for H?
Hg minus H.
Hg minus Hf, right? So Hg is given. Okay, Hf के लिए friction दिया हुआ है, right? Okay, so let's see. So H you can write it as Hg minus Hf. Okay, Hg is given, but you have to find first Hf, right? Okay, now let's see for Hf, what is the formula? How you can find Hf?
4FLV square upon 2G.
4FLV square, which V? Velocity inside the penstock. So let me give it as V star square, okay, upon 2G into the diameter of that penstock. So that is again D star. Okay. So now again here, see, F is known to you, L is known to you, this diameter is known to you, but you don't know again the V star. Okay. So there are many unknown things are available over here. Okay. So let's put this value over here and let's see how still you can find or not. Okay. So let me put it in the formula, that is H is equal to Hg minus Hf. Okay. So H you can again write it as from your V1, that is it is equal to V1 upon 2G. Yes, can we write this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Because your V1 is under root of 2GH. We have taken CV as 1. Okay. So we can write H as V1 upon 2G. Right? Hg value is known to you. So you can directly keep it as it is. Okay. Directly value is known to you. HF 4.
Ma'am, it should be V1 square, na?
Root of 2G,
Yes.
under root of 2G.
Yes, V1 square. Okay. V1 square. So 4FL, sorry, 4FL V star square, not D, okay, into 2G D star. Okay. So now here you can see there are two unknowns. Okay. G is known to you, Hg known to you, D star known to you, L known to you, F known to you. But V1 and V star is not known to you. V1 and V star. Okay. So we must find how you can find one of those. Okay. Or at least the relation so that you can put it over here and find one of the value. Okay. So let's think about the system first. Okay. Let me show you the system, what we are having. So here we are having the penstock. Okay. And after here, there is a nozzle, right? Like this. So at this position, the diameter is D star. Okay. And at this position, the diameter is small d. Here you are having the velocity of V star and at the outlet of this. That means here it is V1. Right? This is what is known to you. Okay? Now think, this is a continuous flow, right? Continuous flow. So whatever the flow which is going to be coming, which is going or passing through this penstock will come out through this nozzle. Okay? Right? So nothing is going to be lost. We are not talking about the energy, but about the quantity. Okay? So can you tell me the relation or the principle which you can use to find the relation between V1 and V star? Yes?
Continuity
equation.
Yes, very good. So continuity equation you can use over here. Okay? And from the continuity equation, what you'll get, that is discharge in the penstock will be equal to the discharge at the nozzle. Right? That means you can write it as area in the penstock. So let me write it as A star into V star. This will be equal to area at the nozzle, okay, into velocity V1. Right? So we can write it by continuity equation. A star V star equal to small a V1. Right? So now here A star we can find because we have the diameter D star. So pi by 4 D star square into V star is equal to, again, small area. That means the diameter of the jet is also known to us. So we can write pi by 4 D square into V1 square. Right? So pi by 4 will get cancelled and you will get the relation of V1 and V star. Right? So V star you can write it as D square V1 square by D star square. Right? So you can right, in this form. D square and D star square is also known to you. I think D square is given to you as 150 mm. Okay, so we can put it over here 150 mm. So I have converted into meters. Okay, and capital D is also given as 1 meter. So 1 square into V1 square. Okay, after solving, we will get the value as 0.0225 V1 square. Okay, now put this in equation number 1. Okay, put the value of V star in equation number and you can now find V1, right? So solve it please and tell me what is the V1. What is the value of V1?
मैम V1 स्क्वायर का स्क्वायर
Yes? Sorry, not V1 square. I have by mistakenly wrote it. Okay, only V1. What side square over? That's why I wrote it. Now put all the known values and tell me what is the value of V1. How much you will get? This numerical is basically not that straightforward. Initially, you have to think about the whole system, and then accordingly, you have to create the equations so as to get the value of the V1 first. Yes, how much is V1? Now, as I have taken here CV as 1, you can put it as any value, okay? Any value means, of course, I have given to you the range, okay? 0.97 to 0.99. So in between it, you can take any value that will slightly make difference in your value of V1. Okay, nothing more than that. So you can do it in that way also. But just make it simple. If you need to assume the simplest value, that is 1. So how much you got? V1? One more thing, remember that this length is given in a kilometer, okay? So multiply it by 1000 to convert in meter. Most of the time this happens that you forgot about the units and take the only numbers. Yes, someone give, yes, Richa, it is correct, 85.54. Okay. Meter per second. Hopefully you all have also got the almost same value. Okay, 85.85 is also correct. No problem. Okay, so this is how you have to find the V1. Now, once you have found the V1, the further question is the same which we have done in the previous questions, previous problems, right? Once you have understood how to find the V1 or you have got the value of V1, now you can find VW1 because V1 is equal to VW1, right? So V1 is equal to VW1 is equal to 85.54 meter per second, right? Another thing, you need to find U also because in a formula of RP you need U. Okay, so for that what is given? U is equal to 0.45 of V1, right? So from this relation put the value of V1 and you will get the U. How much? Please tell me. I don't have calculator right now, so please tell me how much you will get U1. Sorry, U.
38.62.
38.628.
628.
Okay, 38.6, right? Plus or minus some decimals can be there. Okay, so let's just say 38.6. This is what you will get as U. Okay, now the next target is to find the VW2, right? Now what is VW2? VW2 is VR1 cos phi minus U. U is known to you. What about the VR1? How you can find VR1? Anyone?
V1 minus
Yes.
U1.
So V1 minus U cos phi minus U. V1 is known to you, U known to you. So find you VW1. VW2, sorry. You may get it as 0.452 meter per second. Right? Yes, did you got this value?
0.13.
0.13, okay. 13 is also fine. 139 होगा वो. Okay. 6.997 is not, 977 is not the answer. That is,
Ma'am, VR1 is not equal to VR2.
yes. Yes. We forgot one more thing. Something is given over here. That is, this is VR2. Okay. So our formula is VR2 cos phi minus U, and VR2 is not equal to VR1 directly. Okay. Relation was given that VR2 is equal to 0.85 of VR1, right? Okay. So your formula here becomes, you have to multiply. Let me write it down once again. So it will be simple. Okay. 0.85 V1 minus U. Okay. So this is what your VR2 is. Okay. So your VW2 is equal to 0.85 V1 minus U cos of phi minus U. Okay. So there is lot of data available in this question, and this may happen that you may forgot one or two data. So be careful, be attentive. Okay. Yes. So answer is 0.135.
1306.
1306 is also okay. Okay. So 0.13 to 0.14 is correct. Okay. So this is what your VW2 is. Okay. Now, what is the formula of RP? Rho Q VW1 plus VW2 into U, right? Now the task is how to find Q. Okay. So Q is area into velocity, A into V1. Okay. So again, V1 is known to you. For area, diameter is known to you. So pi by 4 d square into V1, right? Put the values and tell me what is the value for Q. And once you have found the Q, tell me the RP. Yes, RP is 5022 kilowatt. Yes, correct. 5022 kilowatt. Okay. There may be some decimals further. Okay. Tell me what is the Q? 1.516, I think. There can be plus or minus points. The points 5%. Okay, 5023.5 kilowatt is your RP. Okay, now once you have found the RP, the next target is to find the shaft power. Now for that, simply mechanical efficiency is given to you, right? So you can write as shaft power is equal to mechanical efficiency multiplied by your RP. So now mechanical efficiency is given to you as 85%. So 0.85 into 5022 kilowatt. Okay. And after that, you will get the shaft power. So how much is the shaft power? 4269, correct? 4269. Don't worry, plus or minus 5-10% is okay. Okay. 4268 is also correct. So this is how you will get the shaft power. Next target is to find the hydraulic efficiency. Okay. Now how to find the hydraulic efficiency? Yes, anyone? Hydraulic efficiency. What is hydraulic efficiency?
RP upon WP.
Yes, RP upon
Kinetic energy.
kinetic energy. Okay, so RP upon kinetic energy. So for what is kinetic energy?
Half m
What
dot
is
v square.
kinetic energy? Half rho Q
V1 Q.
square.
V square.
स्क्वायर क्यू ले रहे हो तो स्क्वायर एरिया अगर होगा तो क्यूब ओके सो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज बाय दिस थोड़ा केयरफुली लिखो फॉर्मूला अगर आपको क्यूब का ये है तो यहाँ पे एरिया लिखो ओके एंड टेल मी व्हाट इज द हाइड्रोलिक एफिशिएंसी हाउ मच इज इट How much is the hydraulic efficiency? Okay, 90.14, 90. Yes, 90. Okay, so near about you will get 90%, right? This is what the hydraulic efficiency. And I think last thing remaining is the overall efficiency. 90.1 is also correct. Okay. Now how to find overall efficiency? You know the hydraulic efficiency, you know the mechanical efficiency. So simply what you can do, overall efficiency is equal to hydraulic efficiency multiplied by the mechanical efficiency. Okay. I don't have space, but I'll write it over here. So overall efficiency is hydraulic efficiency multiplied by the mechanical efficiency. Yes, 76.6. Correct. Okay. So plus minus up and down may happen by 5-10%, and that is okay. Hopefully you have solved it by your own. Okay. So did you understood the numerical?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move to the another one, which is again little bit different. Okay. Not very different, but very, very slightly. Okay. Just to recall few things. That's why I'm going to take this numerical now. Okay. Now in this numerical, again, what is given? A 137 mm diameter jet of water issuing from a nozzle impinges on the bucket of a Pelton wheel. So from here you will understand that it is a Pelton wheel. Now as it is a Pelton wheel, you must draw the velocity diagram for the Pelton wheel. Okay. I request all of you to draw it. Okay. So that slight practice will be done. And make a habit of drawing it. Okay, because what happens for now you will say that you may say that yes we know the diagram, so why to draw. And you may think that it is a waste of time, but what happens, this habit actually is good when you are going to solve it in your exams. Okay, at that time this happened that you forgot about the velocity diagram, and either you'll draw it wrong or you forget it, okay, to draw. But velocity diagram always has a weightage in your numerical. Okay, so always draw it. VR2, V2, VF2, beta, and this is phi. Okay. Let me draw AOD also, so in case if it is needed. Okay. Right. Hopefully you have drawn it. Shall I continue? Or you need time for drawing? Yes.
Continue, ma'am.
Okay. So what is given here? 137 mm diameter of the jet. That means small d is given to you as 137 mm, right? Issuing from the nozzle impinges on the bucket of the Pelton beam. Okay, so that is what the diameter of the jet which is going to strike on the Pelton beam. Okay, and the jet is deflected through the angle of 165 degree. That means AOD is given to you as 165 degree. If again AOD is known to you, that means phi is also known to you. That is phi is equal to 180 minus 165 degree, and it will be equal to 15 degree, right? The head available at the nozzle is 400 meter. Can you tell me which head is given? HG or H or HF? What is given? What is this 400?
H.
Yes, it is H, because what is said? Head available at the nozzle. Okay, at the nozzle. That means after losing everything that red loss due to friction and everything, whatever the head you have got at the nozzle, that is what the given is, and that is equal to innate head, that is 400 meter. Okay, now assuming the coefficient of velocity as 0.97, so here it is given that CV as 0.97, okay, and the speed ratio as 0.46, so KU is also given to you as 0.46, okay, and reduction in the relative velocity while passing through the bucket as 15%. So again here, what is given? The relation between VR2 and VR1 is given as it is going to reduced by 15%. So we can directly write it now. Okay, if it is getting reduced by 15%, that means it will be equal to 0.85 of VR1. Okay, do you know, did you got this? Why I have written directly as 0.85? Or if you
Yes,
want
ma'am.
the explanation, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Now further what is said? Find the force exerted by the jet on the bucket in a tangential direction. Can you tell me what is mean by this? Force exerted by bucket, force exerted by jet on the bucket in tangential direction. What is mean by this? Yes, anyone?
Fx.
Yes, it is Fx. It should be Fx, because see here, let's say this is your wheel and this is what your bucket. Jet is going to strike in a tangential direction, and that tangential direction is a x direction. Okay, that tangential direction is a x direction. Even if you say that your bucket is over here and jet is going to strike in this direction, then normally take this as a x direction. Perpendicular direction will be your y direction. Okay, so Fx you are supposed to find, right? Next thing is power developed. How much power is developed by this system? Simple. Okay, very simple question is there, but still I have taken because there will be a certain difference when you are going to solve it. Okay, so let's see how to solve now. Okay, so first thing what you are supposed to find is Fx. Now what is the formula for Fx?
Rho A V1 VW1 plus VW2.
Yes, rho A V1 VW1 plus VW2, right? Only this much is the formula. Don't write U, because we are mostly habitual of writing in multiply by U when we are solving for the power or work done. Okay, but here we are taking the force. So, thoda sa concentrated in it. Okay, now rho is known to you. Okay, area you can find because diameter is given to you. Okay, V1 not known to you, so you need to find, and once you find the V1, you can find VW1 and VW2 also. Okay, so the task is to find V1. Now how to find V1 over here? Okay, simple. V1 is equal to CV under root of 2GH. Whenever you need to find V1 in this unit, okay, I'm talking only about this unit. Okay, first thing, write this formula. Even if something is not known to you, but still write the formula so that you will first find what is known to you and what is not known to you. If nothing is known to you from this, you have to go from some other method, like which we did in the last numerical, right? So here you can see CV is known to you, H is known to you. Okay, so put the value of this CV and H. G is also known to you as 9.81, and you will get the V1. So how much is V1 now?
85.9.
Okay, so it is 85.9 meter per second. Right, now once you have found the V1, you can write it as V1 is equal to VW1 is equal to 85.9 meter per second. Now this is done. Okay, inlet triangle is done. Okay, so next one is VW2. What is VW2? VR2 cos phi minus U. Okay, so again now here VR2 relation is given. Okay, that is 0.85 VR1. Okay, so you can write it directly as 0.85. And what is VR1? It is V1 minus U, right? So cos phi minus U. If you feel that putting everything in the same equation is quite confusing, you can do it separately also. First find VR2 and then go for VW2. That is also fine. Okay. If you are feeling that it is confusing, go like that, stepwise. That is much better. Okay, than doing everything in the direct manner by putting everything in the same one equation. Okay, that will actually avoid your mistakes. So first I'll suggest you to go by the step-by-step method. Okay, now here you know V1, you know U. Yeah, sorry, you don't know U again. You need to find U. Okay, how you can find U? How can you find U?
KU.
Yes,
KU.
KU is given. What is KU?
U by V1.
U by V1, right? Now V1 is known to you. Okay, so KU is known to you, so you can find U. And how much is U? Yes, someone, yes, Ashwin, correct. 39.52. Okay, 39.52 meter per second. Now you know all the values over here and you can find the VW2. Tell me, how much is the VW2? How much is VW2? Yes?
minus
Minus
2.3.
1.4.
minus 1.41.
Okay, minus 1.4. Okay, so VW2 here you got it in a negative direction, right? Minus 1.4, right? Okay, 1.44 meter per second. Now, if you remember in a first unit, I told you that if you get this VW2 in a negative form, okay, what you are supposed to do? First, change this triangle, okay? Show that VW2 is negative. How you can show it? Simply drawing the triangle like this. So, first you are supposed to write, use another page. As VW2 is negative, outlet triangle will be as follows. Okay, and then simply draw your outlet triangle. Okay, like this. So shift your VW2 on the another side. Okay, so this is your VW2 in this direction. This is your VF2. This is your V2, VR2, phi, beta. Okay, and U. Okay, so this will be your outlet velocity triangle. Okay, as I said, to draw the outlet velocity triangle again because of the negative sign, but don't use this. Okay, I'll suggest you when you are going to take the value of the VW2 in any of the formula, don't use this. Okay, this is just to show that this is what your actual velocity triangle is. Okay, now you have got the VW2 right in a negative form. So now what is your Fx? Fx is equal to rho A V1 VW1 plus VW2, right? You know the value of rho as 1000. How much is the area? Area 0.01474. Okay, please correct me if it is wrong. Okay, multiply by your V1. V1 कितना दिया आपने? 85.9. 85.93. Okay, VW2 is also 85.93. Okay, and VW2, as I said, this triangle is just to understand that what is going to happen in about that velocity triangle. Okay, but here you are supposed to take the value as it is which you have got when you have solved it. Okay, that means with the negative sign. So minus 1.44. Even if you use this triangle, okay, if you are using this triangle, that means your VW2 will be equal to 1.44. Okay, that means it will be positive. But as it has gone in the negative direction, automatically here it will be in a minus sign. Okay, with a minus sign. Okay, so to avoid the confusion, remember that this is just to understand, okay, that when your VW2 you have got it in a negative direction, triangle has just changed. But when you are using in a formula, use along with the negative sign. Don't change your sign in this formula. Change it when you are putting the value. Okay, so now what is your Fx? Yes,
107.28.
Okay, 107.28 kilonewton. Okay, so this is what your Fx. And the last thing is to find the power. What is power? What is power? How you can find? Simply Fx into U. Okay, Fx into U. Fx you have already found in a kilonewton. Okay, so what will happen? Your output will be in a kilowatt. Okay, so 107.28 multiply by U. U कितना मिला था आपको? 39 point something, right? 39.52. Okay. Then tell me how much is the power you got? You will get? Yes. 425.15 kilowatt. Okay. थोड़ा प्लस माइनस है बाकी लोगों का भी नो प्रॉब्लम दैट इज ओके बट यस शुभकांत हीरे योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग समथिंग issue is there with your sorry this is wrong
422.
Shrikant Rajput, yours is wrong. It will be in a thousands. 4229 kilowatt. Okay, approximate is this one. 4229 kilowatt. Plus minus 10%, 5-10% is fine. Okay, it will not be in hundreds, it will be in thousands. Okay, so check what you have done the mistake. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to do this. This numerical I have took just to remind that we have cases like this. Okay. We have already took it in the first unit, but still. Okay. Okay. So thank you for this one. Let me take the attendance.